guys, it's your girl Crystal B, and welcome back to A Boss Through Christ podcast. I'm super excited. Y'all know I'm always excited to record. I'm always excited to be doing another episode and staying consistent in this. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who is subscribing. Thank you everyone who is following the movement, who is following me on Instagram. I'm seeing you guys write me. I'm seeing you guys comment. I'm seeing you guys like my things. So I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. So today we are recording episode 5. And let's just praise God for a moment, because I didn't even think that I would come this far with this podcast, period. Like, I thought it was going to end with episode 1, for real. But we are here and I'm staying consistent. So thank you. Round of applause for me. But today I have a special guest today. This person is someone I know personally, someone who I've seen grow, not just in business, but someone I've seen grow spiritually in Christ, centering God in front of his business, in front of his life. We have multiple conversations all the time, and I'm just so honored to have him as a guest on my podcast. So please give it up for Mr. Grant.
Thanks for having me.
Of course.
To be honestly sitting in this seat talking with you. Mm-hmm. It's crazy because it's like, maybe like what, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
We were kind of sitting in an apartment, talking about, our goals and our journeys and everything like that. So I'm honored to be here. I'm honored to be a part of this, what you got going on, man. So nothing but blessings from here. But yeah, I'm G, Grizzy. People know me as Grizzy. People know me as Grant. Mm-hmm. Personal trainer. I've been doing this now for 7 years. Okay. I've been giving my testimony now for what? It's been a while, but like since I've opened up my own gym, I think that, it's finally hit me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
you can indeed quit.
Yeah. It finally hit me, man. Yeah. So it's just like, I don't know. I think that when it comes to just the, who I am in the testimonial part, I think that's kind of why I was able to kind of dive in so deep. Off the rip. Just because
you got a story to tell.
I got a story to tell type of deal.
And you also in a season where God is using your voice a lot, because a few months ago, didn't you just do like a boys event where you spoke and such?
Shout out to Tiffany.
Yeah.
What's it called? Label Me King.
Yeah, Label Me King.
Event. Yeah, that was super dope. We was able to go and spread knowledge to the youth. Mm-hmm. So that was super dope, man. So shout out to her, and hope to do some stuff like that again soon.
Yeah, love. So as you guys know, he is a trainer. So tell the people, like, what made you get into fitness? What made you get into health? Like, what was the thing for you that said, okay, I'm going to be a trainer?
I always had a knack for health and fitness, or health and wellness, I should say. Even starting off as a child, I guess I could say, playing rec ball, you know what I mean? Growing up in the community, playing rec ball, basketball, football, baseball, anything sports related, I was doing it. But when I realized that, this ain't going to take me to the pros or nothing like that.
Okay. So you weren't that good.
Yeah, I think it wasn't even that. I think I was actually that good.
Okay.
I didn't really take it serious.
Okay, got you.
I didn't really know my full potential. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like goofing off, playing around, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's crazy because my coach used to always tell my dad, he goofing off, but he got a lot of potential. But at the time, I didn't really realize it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you get older and realize like your full potential and what you really have to offer. But once I realized that wasn't gonna, pan out the way that I wanted to, I kind of started working out. And by me working out, I had a lot of friends who I inspired by doing so. So it started off like, let's go work out, or can you train me, or like give me some tips and advice. And, when I say I was all around the city, I was all around the city, outside, inside, this gym, that gym, different apartment gyms. Like, I've been all over the place. You know what I mean?
And this is all in Raleigh.
This is all in Raleigh.
Okay. Where'd you go to high school?
Garner High.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't think I knew that. Okay.
Yeah, man. So, but yeah, this is all in Raleigh. So, don't work at every gym around as much.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think just from doing all of that, and then finally, having the opportunity to work with, a guy named Desmond out in Durham at Prime, that kind of shifted everything for me. You know what I mean? So that's when I can say it sort of officially started.
So training.
Yes.
Okay.
Training.
So once you started becoming a trainer, like how was the process of growing your clientele? How was the process of like knowing, okay, this is what I want to do? Did you know that training was going to be your career? Or were you thinking of like, cause for me, when I started doing makeup, I already had a full-time job. So I'm like, makeup is my side hustle. Yeah. So for you, was it like, I'm just doing this just to see where it goes, or I want to be serious in this? Like, what was that for you?
No, that's a good question. I think, for me, I kind of knew that it was going to be my thing. Mm-hmm. All these odds and ends jobs, I just knew it wasn't it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm being honest with you, just working, showing up late, kind of not really, you know what I'm saying? Still in that whole punch in vibe.
Yeah, you know yeah.
All my managers back in the day and all the tests, I mean, I show up and it's like, dude, you late.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, what are we going to do about it? You know what I'm saying?
Fire
me. You know what I mean? And that was just literally me walking with faith before I even really knew what it was.
Oh my God. That is so good.
I know this ain't for me.
That's so good.
So it's almost just like, all right, do what you got to do. But I think kind of going into training, I knew that was my calling. Mm-hmm. Just by, like I said, by prior years, me always working out, me just kind of always being into it. I knew that was my love. That was my passion. I found myself kind of, getting up to go do it without even thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? And I could be doing it all day long and not feel like I'm working. You know what I'm saying? So I knew at that point, it's just like, yeah, this is something a little different for me. And again, once I got the opportunity to finally train at the facility Prime, I was just like, okay, yeah, this is definitely something different. But to answer your question, it was ugly. The process was ugly, man. It was ugly. Like, a lot of it, and it's funny, I was talking to a couple friends a couple weeks ago, and it's just like, you got to trust the process. You got to trust the process. It may start off ugly, but like if you stay in it, God has a plan at the end. And it's not even the end, but if you stay in it, true testimony as to
you'll see the growth. You'll see things bloom.
There it is. Yeah. I was showing up to the gym like, maybe one client, maybe no clients, you know what I'm saying? And I always felt like I was the underdog, if I'm being honest, you know what I'm saying? I felt like I was the underdog, which that didn't really necessarily faze me. I mean, I kind of like being an underdog, you know what I'm saying? I was able to kind of like slow and steady run my race, you know what I'm saying? And kind of be able to really dive deep into what it is and why it is that I'm doing what it is that I'm doing. So I just think that, through those years of just like
grinding,
you know what I mean? Yeah. Setbacks and all type of stuff. I think it just shaped me into who I am today.
Yeah.
And prepared me for this moment.
Yeah.
Without those testing times, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't be able to handle where I'm at today. You know,
if it wasn't for God, you can really say, if it wasn't for God,
Amen, for real,
that's super good. Do you feel like at any moment, like, did you ever get anxious? Did you ever get discouraged? Did you ever get doubtful? Like, did you ever want to give up? Like,
for sure, man. Yeah, all of that. There was times where I was anxious. There was times I wanted to give up. I'm trying to think of times off my head, but like, there's so many to kind of like really pinpoint. But yeah, during this journey of entrepreneurship, it gets hard.
It does.
It gets to a point where you like, man, bump this, or you know what? Let me might go ahead and apply for another job. Let me, you know what I'm saying? It gets to that point.
Man, let me tell you, I literally, y'all, applied to Ulta because I felt like I didn't want to keep working. Like, I didn't want to keep hustling no more. Like, I felt like, dang, God, like, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. Then that's what really led me to bottle girling. Like, and sometimes like you lean on your flesh. You lean onto your own understanding. You do things that are outside the will of God. Absolutely. And anything that you do outside the will of God, you're going to have to maintain it. Okay. So you're going to have to come back to God and your purpose. What is your purpose? What is God calling you to do? And for him was training. So he, like, not saying he left it, but it was times where he wanted to, but he knew that his alignment had nothing to do with what the world is saying, but all to do with what God is saying. And God is calling him to be a business owner. So kudos to you. I love that for you.
Appreciate it.
So now you've been training 6 years. 7 years. Okay. 7 years. And you're getting good. Your clientele is building up. So now where's your mindset? Now you got the clients. Now you see, some money coming in. Like where's your mindset now?
That's a good question. I mean, first thing that came to my mind was like new levels, new devils, right? And I say that because, as much as you climb the ladder, there's always going to be new obstacles. knew this, knew that to kind of, conquer, if you will. So, where I'm at currently, I think I'm still in a growing season. I'm still in a season of figuring it out in terms of kind of just like trying to get that coasting, how do I put it? Like a coasting point. You know what I mean? Where I'm able to kind of like, everything is flowing. Right now, I'm still trying to connect dots. I'm still trying to figure some things out. I'm still learning a lot of different things. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like right now I'm just still in a growing season. And I'm letting that be what it is. You know what I mean? So I think for me, it's just a matter of just kind of like still letting God's timing just play its course. You know what I'm saying?
I want to talk about the gym. We're going to get to the gym.
Okay. Well,
before we get to the gym, when did you realize, okay, this is God? Like, when did it hit for you? Like, this isn't just me doing this off my own strength. This is God. God has his hands on my life. God is blessing me with this business. God is blessing me with this clientele. So when did you realize that?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say, honestly, I think honestly, if I'm being honest, it was when my dad passed away in 2017, just because how it all played out. Literally was working at my eye doctor, which is crazy. I think that was my last regular job, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I had a lot of jobs. I think dad passed away. My eye doctor was my last regular job. And to make a long story short, one of the guys that was at prom working there happened to come into my eye doctor just randomly to talk about glasses. I had already spoke to the owner about an interview. And when I walked into the gym, the guy that came to look at his glasses was just like, where I know you from? And I was just like, my doctor. We both said my doctor at the same time. He was just like, yo, that's crazy. So immediately at that point, he was just like, yo, I'm going to definitely vouch for you. Yeah, I think after that moment, I don't know. It's just, you know what I'm saying? When things come about, you kind of just know. You got a feeling, you know what I mean? And not to get super, super deep. I know you want me to get deep up here, but I ain't. But, just like growing up, how my father was, and being an African parent, he
Tell him where you're from. Tell him where you are.
I'm Nigerian, you know what I'm saying?
Don't say it with your chest. He's Nigerian, guys.
But yeah, like being raised, with my pops, man, he was always on my head. And, it took me a while to kind of realize why, but now that I'm older, much, much more mature, I definitely understand why, you know what I'm saying? Big shoes to fill.
So do you feel like your dad is the one who set that foundation for you when it comes to like believing and faith in God? Like, would you say that?
Yeah, it's crazy. I kind of found my own little lane. I'm not gonna call it little lane. I found my own lane in that. But in some ways, not to get too religious, but it's just like, they have a different way of going about their religious beliefs. But I was able to kind of, find my lane and kind of stick in it. You know what I'm saying? So I just think through, a lot of the conversations that we had and so on and so forth, it kind of just, after he passed, it kind of motivated me a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like, understanding and knowing that, I have big shoes to fill. So I wanted to get into something that I knew that I loved, and I wanted to be able to do something that I can call myself, or I can be my own boss. My dad was always an entrepreneur growing up. You know what I mean? He always used to say, I never wanted to work for anybody, that sort of thing. So kind of picked up on that and kind of, again, created my own lane and stuff with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that was a major piece to my success. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think that was a major piece.
Okay, so I want to piggyback off the meetup with the guy at the eyeglasses.
Oh yeah,
so
yeah.
What was that like? That whole thing. How did that build you? How did that make you? How did that make you feel? Like you seeing him at the eye doctor, now you see him at the gym. Like what was that? What was that for you? Was it like do you feel like it was like a confirmation of something?
What do they call it? Is it divine?
Yeah, divine timing. Yeah.
Divine timing. That sort of thing. That's what it felt like. Like literally, that's what it felt like. Where it was just like we happened to kind of have a slight conversation. I didn't know him from campaign. He didn't know me, and it just so happened that from Raleigh Crabtree all the way to Durham, 15501. If anybody know where that's at, you know that's a little ways away. It's just like he came in there and literally the next week I'm in where he working at. And it's just like, yo, didn't I just see you?
Yeah.
And it's just like, yo, man. And it's like, yo, you trying to work like what you doing here?
Right.
I came for the interview. Word. Like that's
connections.
Connections.
Okay, got you. I'm picking it up like, now.
Yo, you know what I'm saying? Just from the energy and the vibe that we got at my eye doctor, he was just like, yo, I definitely gonna vouch for you. I'm gonna let him know.
Wow. And he opened the door for you.
Opened the door for me.
Wow. Okay.
And, at that time, it was kind of just like upward from there. You know what I'm saying? So that was kind of like the first initial like, oh snap, like this is something different.
Yeah.
This is something different. So, yeah.
Okay, period.
That was dope stuff.
So now you've been training, you're doing your thing, and you have your clientele, and boom, an idea come. You want to open a gym. Tell us about that.
That's a good question. I mean, it's crazy because I kind of like always had it in the back of my mind that I wanted to open a gym, but to be honest with you, I never had a definitive date in mind. You know what I mean? Even after, being at Prime, even after COVID, I never really had a definitive date like, yo, I want to open a gym. I just always knew that is like a major goal that I wanted to accomplish.
Yeah.
But I just think like, how I would describe it is like kind of having my head down, and just like continuously grinding and shit. I look up and, it's almost just like,
here you go.
You know what I'm saying? And I think even leading up into this spot, we talked briefly about it. It was just kind of like that is where I feel like that whole anxious spirit was calling. You know what I'm saying? Or at least creeping in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I was kind of like at the top of the year, in January. That's kind of more so when I'm like, all right, I want to kind of have something by this time.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of moving in my own regard. You know what I'm saying? Okay, yeah, I'm going to go.
This is what I want.
This is what I want.
What does God want?
Exactly.
Come on.
Okay, by March, I'm going to definitely be in here. Okay, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to talk to this person. I'm going to have this, that, and the third. I'm going to be out. You know what I mean? I'm going to have my everything in line, but quickly humbled me. You know what I mean? After the first letdown, it was kind of like, nah, you ain't getting the spot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Getting hit left and right. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna find another spot. You know what I mean? I think it was after that very last spot, I was supposed to go and sign my lease. Like it was a Monday.
I think you told me this.
Yeah. It was a Monday. Talked to the guy. He was like, all right, cool. Pull up on a Tuesday. Sign your lease. You good to go. Send me the email. Get your keys. All of that. And I'm like, all right, cool. Tuesday came. Trained like normal. After I finished training, I'm just like, all right, man. Hit him up like, yo, where you want me to meet you? I go get a cashier's check. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's do the damn thing. I think I was trying to figure out to get my little champagne bottle, all of it.
Wow. I was like, ready. And this is a whole different location.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? I was like ready. And then he called me up like, yeah, man, we're gonna wait on that. You know what I'm saying? And
randomly.
I was like, randomly. See, I'm just like, yo, like, what? Like, so I'm calling him, trying to like, he's like, yo, we call you back. You know what I mean? Trying to text him, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, hell nah. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking like, you know what I'm saying? How can we sue this dude type shit? Like, he got that deep, but it's just like, I mean, obviously I ain't like signed anything yet. I was signed on the spot. So it was just kind of one of those humbling moments where it's like, wow.
Your heart was broke, won't it?
And what?
Your heart. I know.
And what?
I know.
I was like,
I know. So how was that? Like, in that moment, your heart is broken, right? But like, where did you like bring in God? That's what I really want to know. Like, where did you bring in God? Like, God, I'm hurt right now. I'm thinking this is going to be my building. I want to have a gym. I set this goal for myself. Like, was it like a God, where are you? Or was it like a...
Nah, so I've always, being a praying dude. So it's just like throughout this whole journey, I've always prayed and I've always, seek God in my journey. However, I think with this though, I would be in the shower, praying like, thank you God for this. And I would be saying the building number to myself, like, thank you God for this address. And I'm like, if I say it, then you know what I'm saying? Like maybe it'll like, maybe he'll grant it to me type of deal.
Like kind of like speaking it into existence.
Speaking it into existence where he's like, nah, that's not what I need you to do. You know what I'm saying? I need you to just be obedient. I need you to just do X, Y, Z.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got you. You know what I'm saying? But
let me do it.
Let me do it.
Let me do it.
Let me do it. I'm over here trying to da-da-da-da-da-da. You know what I'm saying? But he's just like...
And it's so funny because sometimes I think about how God just be laughing at us when we have plans. Like, we be writing down stuff. And he be like, girl.
You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of where I kind of realized where after that one, I'm just like, okay, I'm falling back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to fall back. But though he slayed me, I still trust him type time. Where it was just like, okay, I get it. You got my attention. So let me fall back. Let me continue to do what I need to do. Let me continue to serve my people. You know what I'm saying? And,
you were serving.
I was.
Yeah. You know God started to use your voice, started to use your impact other ways.
I'm showing up to sessions. People don't even know what just happened.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because even at the same time, I had clients who, shout out to them who are still with me to this day. But like, they're just like, man, like my schedule's getting ready to change, or like, man, I need some different time blocks. You know what I'm saying? But me already thinking like, oh yeah, I got a spot coming. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about it. I'm telling like, yo, y'all chill. Like, I got y'all. And then when that happened, I'm just like, I don't know when it's gonna come now. You know what I'm saying? So
y'all gonna hold on a little tighter.
Hold on a little longer. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I've been singing that same tune for clients that's been with me for a minute. You know what I'm saying? I think since 2017 to 2024. Some of these clients been rocking with me. Yeah. So they kind of like, yo, we want to,
Arlene, shout out to Arlene.
Shout out to Arlene. It's Arlene. Shit. Arlene, man, there's like clients that's been with me since 2017.
That's
2018.
Crazy.
You know what I mean? That's been rocking with me. So, shout out to all of them for, sticking around, like, trusting in me and my growth and everything like that, man. So, I was just blessed and fortunate enough to be able to bring them a space, you know what I mean? A gym home.
So let's talk about you getting this space, because the space is nice.
Yeah.
Because when I walked in, I was like, he didn't even tell me. I had to find out through the grapevine.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, because it's so crazy. I'm gonna say a small little testimony. Me and Grant stopped talking. I stopped talking to him. I stopped training with him. I stopped talking to him and I stopped training with him because he hurt my feelings because he didn't come to my grand opening. Not grand opening, but my book release party.
It wasn't intentional.
It wasn't intentional. We talked about it, but as a human, as our fleshly ways, we lean on into our emotions. And I was like, man, I've been training with him for a year. He's not going to show up. Like, and I was very hurt. And I did not know when I was going to speak to Grant again. And mind you, how it felt like my birthday. Like, you reached out to my birthday. Right, yeah. But I didn't know when I was going to speak to him again. And I knew that I was low-key being kind of petty and like, keeping my distance. I muted his stuff on Instagram.
Shout out to Growth.
Shout out to Growth.
One time, you know what I'm saying?
And muted him on Instagram. I don't want to see nothing of his or whatever the case may be. But it was so crazy. But it was this one moment. I think 3 months had like passed. I haven't spoken to him. And I just had something in my spirit was just like, go see Grant. And I hadn't trained with him in like a few months. And I was like, go see Grant, or maybe it was longer than that. I don't think it was 3 months. I think it was a little bit, because I think it was this year, because my book release was last year. I just hit a year. So it was sometime this year. So
it was a crazy timing.
Yeah, it was probably a few months. It was a minute. And some of my spirit was just like, text Grant. Because mind you, I always knew I was going to reach out to Grant one day, but I didn't know when I was going to reach out to him again. Because I look at him like my brother, when I was training with him, he gave me advice. He told me, Crystal, cut that man off. He ain't for you, and we talked about business. I introduced him to my mentor. We connected on another level outside of just training. And, so my feelings hurt, y'all, for real, but it's okay. So something in my spirit was like, go see Grant. And I'm like, go see Grant. And I'm like, okay. So I text him I literally just randomly text him, I'm gonna do a drop-in, not thinking I want to train with him again, not saying I need another trainer. I'm just going to do a drop-in with him. So I texted him where you at? I'm going to do a drop-in or whatever. So I came, and that day I came, I didn't even know that I was going to be pouring into your life the way I did, and praying with you the way I did, and teaching you certain things the way I did. And that day was just a moment for me. I was like, wow, God, you needed me to reconnect with Grant so I can pour into him, so I can speak life into him. Because I was saying, Grant, you should do this, you should do that. And I'm saying all these things. Yep. And we're talking about God, we're talking about purpose, we're talking about alignment. And literally a few months later, you opened your gym. And I'm just so for me in that moment, when I found out you opened your gym, I was just like, all I could do was give God praise because
it was crazy because around that time that you did come back around, I think that was around the time that I had got denied that very last time.
Wow.
So you came back around and was just telling me, what we spoke about in terms of like praying and those sort of things. I was just like, wow, you know what I mean?
That's you say crazy. You needed that.
I needed it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I needed it at the time. I definitely needed it at the time. So that was kind of like another one of those divine timing situations. Yeah. And I just think this whole journey has been all about, God's timing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And the connections that I've been able to build, and even through your journey, just connections you're able to build with, the different people and the different relationships and all that type of stuff, man. I think that's a serious thing. Yeah. Especially in our line of work when it comes to entrepreneurship and just being able to be a positive influence, role model, for your city, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you're doing that. You're doing that.
That's big. We doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to
my
us.
man's behind the screen.
No, for real. Shout out to John.
Yeah, shout out to John. I mean, we all doing it, Yeah. And I think that this is the time of us kind of waking up, you know what I'm saying, as a people. And pivot. Exactly. To understanding and knowing that, health is wealth. We want to start to build our own things, you know what I mean? And start to build things for like generations and that sort of thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I just think it's all kind of coming together.
The way it's supposed to.
The way it's supposed to, for sure.
Yeah. I'm super, super proud of you. Like, you have no idea. Like, I pray for you and like seeing you come to this far, you know what I'm saying? Like literally, like you said, you was at apartment complexes and training and now I'm walking in and y'all, I'm paying for a membership. Like that's crazy, and it's like, it's just not just your ordinary gym. Like this is not like a lot of people wouldn't be able to do what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Open up a gym that big, that nice, that, and it's on the black side of Raleigh, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, literally God's timing. God's timing. I'm literally seeing God's light on your life and I'm seeing you spread. I'm seeing you grow in your faith. And it's been such an honor just to see you do your thing. And I just love what God is doing in your life. So what is an advice that you would give to someone who is trying to be an entrepreneur, someone who is seeking entrepreneurship, a business? Like what is something that you would tell them to,
I think it's gonna start with your own belief, your own belief system. I would start there because there's so many people who have a entrepreneur mindset. However, I think their own beliefs get in their way. You know what I'm saying? Where they're like, oh, I don't feel like I got enough to do this, or I don't got enough to do that, or I don't got the time, or I don't got the money, or I don't got this, I don't got that. So, then comes procrastination and all these other little things, variables, I should say, that kind of throw them off their course. Yeah. So I would say it starts with your belief system. If you believe that you got it, go for it, no matter what. And, again, I'm a walking testimony of that, where it was just like, it's going to be ugly. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be ugly, especially when you starting off, you know what I'm saying? No pain, no gain. My pops used to always say that. So it's just like, you got to kind of weather those storms in terms of, you got to stand in those tough times, where, you may not be making money right away. You know what I'm saying? You may not have what you want to have. You may not have the clientele. You may not have the support from people. You know what I'm saying? It was, like I said, start off as an underdog, man. I didn't have a lot of support starting off. So I'll show up, maybe have one person all damn day. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else.
You got to start somewhere.
Exactly.
You got to start somewhere.
So it's just a matter of just staying in it, trusting the process, staying disciplined, staying focused, and just staying true to who you are. I think, that bit of genuineness, that energy,
authentic.
that authentic type of vibe, I think people pick up on that.
Yeah.
A lot of people that's been rocking with me can feel that.
Yeah. It's so crazy that she's speaking on that too, because my last episode that I just recorded, I got on camera with no makeup and I was like, everybody always see me as glam, Crystal B, makeup, flashy, da 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 da. And I'm like, nah, this is me. Like I wiped off my brows on camera and people want to see the real you, and you definitely give that. Like you definitely give the raw.
Exactly. I try to be, me all the time. And I just, because I just feel like, if you know what I'm saying, then at that point, nobody can really say too much.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
only one.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like he, him, you know what I mean? You either like it or you don't. But, I think that if you position yourself to be in a space to where, you know, you're being true, you're being genuine to folks, there's no reason for them not to like you. You know,
I heard somebody say what keeps you booked is people actually like you. When people like you, that's what keeps them coming back. It's not your work. It's not how great your things are, how great of a makeup artist you are, how great of a photographer, how great of a trainer you are. If they like you, they're gonna come.
I said it before. I say it again. Like that word of mouth is something serious. Like,
it is.
You know, all it takes is, you know, you start with one person. That one person gonna go tell somebody. That one, you know what I'm saying, and then boom, it's a domino effect from there. You know what I'm saying? So I just think, yeah, man, you know, just staying true to trust the process, staying true to your beliefs, and you know, being a genuine person. I think those big three. I would say, I know it kind of was like scrapping around, but if we got it. Yeah, okay. You know what I'm saying? Stick to those big three. I think those will at least get you, you know, down the road. And then from there, you know, you pick up different things, you know what I'm saying? And you adjust as needed. You know what I'm saying? Along the journey. So
yay. So would you consider yourself a boss through Christ?
I would. Definitely.
Come on.
Definitely, man.
Yeah.
I'm boss through Christ.
Come on.
Boss through Christ. Boss.
We are bosses. So yes, I just want to say thank you for coming up here. This was good. This was really good. I feel like this is really going to help a lot of people. Like this is what we're here for, you know, to help the next person. As we continue to grow, we want other people to look up to us. We want other people to see us as mentors and leaders, you know. So thank you for sharing your testimony. Thank you for coming up here. And if you guys are watching, I hope you guys learned something from Grant. I hope you're learning something from myself as well. And please tell them your Instagram. Tell them everything where they can find you.
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram at Grizzy. That's GRI, 2 Z's, 3 Y's, 2 underscores. Or you can follow the gym page at Grizzy Fitness Gym. And yeah, I think that's it.
Yay! So make sure you guys follow him. Make sure you guys, if you are in the Raleigh area, North Carolina area, Durham, Raleigh, Cary, Knightdale, Greensboro, Charlotte, come check him out. Pull up on him. He's doing phenomenal things in the area and for the community. And make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, continue to follow me, follow the movement. And yes, I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.
For sure.